Saseni Mkofiti, welcome to Celes Reflection. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. You guys are fueling me, manze munani. Yani na feel nowadays I'm more psyched. Nowadays I'm more composed when I'm doing Celes. I feel so good. Thank you so much, guys. Keep watching. And today, singeacha October ishe without, in October it's the breast cancer awareness month, so singetaka ishe bila mi kuwapatia at least nguvu. I love encouraging, I love giving you guys hope. I love when we hear someone who has conquered something, hata wewe una learn enyewe pia mi naeza juu unaweza, si ati uwezi. So today I am here with Wamaitha Worms. After the Z there's a exclamation mark. Worms, who is going to tell us about her story. She's fought so hard na ameconquer na she's okay. So karibu sana and well done.
Thank you so much for having me. I absolutely love it.
I really want this, guys. I really want my people to hear your story because we tend to think that it's not possible.
Cancer is a death sentence. That's what we hear all the time.
Ati ukisikia mse akona cancer. But look at you.
Yes, please do.
Ebu, look at her. Ebu, zoom. Look at her. So when did it start? Like, at what point did you get to go kind of... Ebu tuambie tu ilianzia wapi?
Let me start with the standard. Thank you so much for having me here.
You're welcome.
Right? But I am very grateful for what you're doing. I am. And keep it. Keep it up the way it is. It can only get better.
Sure.
Yeah? So keep spreading hope. It's the one thing that dies in us, and then we have nothing else to look forward to. I know in business you're told hope is not a strategy, but when you're fighting for your life, it's the only thing you have going. It's the only thing you have going. As you were talking, I'm reminded of, I don't know the verses and the location very well, but I know the story. It was in the Bible. And there was a guy who was unwell for some time. I think they said 34 or something years. And he needed to get into the pool when the angel stars it. Yeah? You're trying to think through where it is.
Remember that guy.
Yes. But every time he tried to get there, somebody got there before him. And he couldn't get into that pool of water that had healing. But when Christ came and asked him if he wants to be well, he started by giving history and reasons why. See, I have no man, I have no one to stir the water for me or to take me to the water when it's time. That's when you've lost hope. That you can't recognize your healer is standing in front of you, and this is your opportunity. Forget the water.
Yeah.
This is your opportunity for Christ to heal you. So that's what happens when hope is gone. You cannot see anything around you. And it's difficult, and I've been there. And I in no way make light of somebody who's feeling hopeless right now, because I know what that looks like, right? It's what, 2023?
But
My story is from 2012.
11 years.
Yes, it's from 2012.
I wanted to cut you. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
I feel like the biggest problem to nayo ni we lose hope. Most of us. Mpaka unafika mahali pa unaambiwa na pastor lete maji. Because you have no hope. Utapeleka hiyo maji. Because there's nothing.
Afadhali maji, amongst other things.
Amongst other
Utaitishwa. Afadhali wale walikuwa naitisha kuku ya black, sijui na stripes za red. Now it's your body that is asked for. Now you're asked to starve, amongst other things.
Okay, yeah,
you know? Yeah. Because you've lost hope. And if somebody can just see that, I can milk it dry.
True.
And I will take you for a ride.
I will tell you, if you give me that finger.
Yes.
Now
I will sort it.
Now utanipea.
What will stop me from cutting off my finger if it's sorting my cancer?
Yeah.
But it's a lack of knowledge, it's a lack of exposure, it's a lack of faith, I think. You can throw stones, but that's what I believe.
Take us back to 2012.
2012, my goodness. Actually, it's a year before. So 2011, I felt a lump, right? And I thought, wow, okay, breast cancer. That's the first thing I thought. Because I've watched my mother battle breast cancer since I was 9. because she got breast cancer in 1989. And my mom is the type of person, she was out in TZ lecturing. She was a TOT, she was a trainer of trainers for KU. And she's the type of person who was very self-aware. So she'd always do her monthly body checks back in the day in 1989. And she felt a lump and she told a friend of hers, she's like, could you feel this for me? You see, chicks are not like guys. Guys will sit with a swelling until there's nothing else. So the friend felt it and said, when we get back to Nairobi, tell your hubby, let's go to Hosi. And that's what she did. So I watched that and the awareness, and I watched my dad walk with her and fight for her and stand by her. So I already knew anything that feels different in your body, don't sit on it. Go to hospital immediately. So felt it, I went to see my gynae. I mean, it's the first thing you think about. You're like, let me first see my gynae. She's like, chick, this is not in my area. Let's look for another doctor. We do, your standard x-rays. You first start over here at bare minimum, isn't it? Exactly. You don't start with CT scans and ETC. At the time, we didn't even have PET scans in Kenya, right? So went in, did the first x-ray. They're like, no, there's nothing. It feels like a mass. But I'm like, guys, I can feel it, but it's not in my breast. It's somewhere a bit lower. So it feels weird. At the time, I was trying to lose weight actively. That time I was not even at this size. I don't even know what I was trying to do. But anyhow, I was trying to lose weight. I was getting a revenge body. So long story short about that area is test after test revealed it's not in your breast, it's not in your uterus, but it's somewhere stuck in your stomach muscle. I'm like, you can have things growing in a muscle. How does that even sound? It doesn't even sound right. So you don't even think about second opinions. You don't think about those things. You're like, okay, sawa, let's go. They do a small operation, they remove it. Those ones where you're told you're just taking 2 days off.
Yeah.
So I just told my boss, I'll be out, I'm back. I'll just schedule it like on a Thursday, so that I rest Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm back in the office. True to it, they removed what was about 4 centimeters of a lump. What we didn't do is we didn't have proper investigation around what that was, because that was November 4th, 2011. I'm telling you, by May of 2012, I was lethargic, I was tired, I couldn't do, your Kawa standard things. So forever, like this would be a stony, because I wanted to burp. I was, that lethargic feeling. So the first thing I thought, okay, so good, I'm pregnant, sawa. Let's.
Choka.
Exactly. Unasikia tu lethargy, hauelewi. Have you ever felt unataka kubap kweroroka? What is bapping? Yes, na haitoki. You're constantly looking for anything that will make you feel like bap. Exactly. So nothing was working. I'm like, something's not right. Something's not right. Like you're tired you're on holiday, but you don't want to do anything. I enjoy swimming. I love being in water. I couldn't even be bothered. Like I'll be in the water, my pals are like, chick. No, go back to Hosi. Went back to hospital. That was May. June, July, started running tests like crazy now, because it's now getting out of hand. Now you can feel it when you touch my stomach. The thing is growing. By September, it was 17 centimeters. You remember it was 4 in November? So in less than a year, it was already 17 centimeters. A lethargy that you've not experienced in life. I'd already had my daughter a few years before. So I knew that lethargy for pregnancy, but this one was different. Like, nothing makes sense. Nothing motivates you. I'm a recruiter. I go to work, I don't want to see CVs, I don't want to interview, I don't talk to people. I am an extrovert, DD. Those people who are over there, I cry more than the bereaved. I didn't want nothing excited me. That's when I knew for a fact, whatever it is thoroughly impacting me. Nilikuwa irritable. That one of, you're just one, just come at me kidogo tu hivi, nalipuka kabisa. So that's how that story was for me. And they said we should schedule surgery here, but my family was a bit apprehensive. So my dad talked to one of our...
So by this time, they know that it's a cancer?
No.
So they're just treating the lump?
They're just treating this lump and they're thinking, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Okay.
Yes, there was a
Could
lot
be,
of
maybe,
yes,
yeah.
there was a lot, and then of course they're saying, there's family history of cancer, but it's not yet. Wako hapo hivyo,
Hawataki come out clean ama.
tuko hapo hivyo. So you're not sure what exactly is going on.
So even from the watoe kale ile ya 4 centimeters bado.
Yes.
They didn't say anything while
So
wametoa.
we didn't do a biopsy on that. That's why I'm saying we didn't do proper investigations.
Okay.
I think also, where the Bible says my children perish for lack of knowledge. Yeah.
And it's true.
It's very true. It's the matter of life and death. What you know and what you don't know. And where you seek your wisdom from. And the Bible is very clear. Ask of the Father. It's the only thing you've been told to ask God for wisdom. I think we didn't ask Sana at that point. But at one point, my dad was like, no. Why don't we ask other doctors? Why don't we talk to somebody else? I've walked this journey with your mom, and we had a host of doctors helping her back then. So we talked to a different doctor, and they're like, let me see your results for XYZ. I'm like, what test is that? Let me see your results for this other one. I'm like, eh? Let me see. I was like, okay, listen, I don't know anything of what you're asking me. They're like, then we need to start from zero. Forget everything else, let's start again. So this is now July. We've run tests upon tests and tests. Doctors are sitting in teams discussing this. They're like, okay, what we have here is called a desmoid tumor. To stage it, to properly understand it, we don't have a PET scan in this country. At the time, we didn't have one. And so we are not able to do the rest of this story. Your choices are India, Morocco, South Africa. Tomorrow. Like, amka uende. How we knew it was serious is that by March of the next year, if I didn't have that radical surgery, I would not be here. Because I had exactly 6 months at the rate at which that tumor was growing. Yes. It was already a kg and a half. Nika kuingia kwa butchery, nasema nifungie your liver. Ilikuwa inakaa hivyo, kimas. But you couldn't see it on the outside. Unless, yes, so it was stuck on the stomach muscle, like right here. So I don't have this. I have an artificial proline mesh that holds my insides inside. Okay. But so on this side is where the tumor had gone and attached. So what a desmoid tumor does is it looks for connective tissue, the tissue that holds you upright. So maybe over here at your arm, your knee area, your neck area, something that has a connection. So it eats there. So it's like a network. First, it's disgusting to look at, but you can imagine now, liver, iko na veins juu. Just picture tu hivyo. Na ina shake hivi tu. It was very disgusting. They gave me the pictures afterwards. I'm like, any God, this was what was inside me. And it was growing aggressively. Because you remember it had been touched.
Yeah.
So they touched only a small part. The thing was like,
That's what they say. When you
yes.
don't cut, like for the breast, when you don't cut,
yes.
it, now it spreads.
Yes.
Like you've given it power now to
yes, because
move.
You're meant to get positive margins all around where the tumor is. So that even in case it had spread a little bit and there are little nodes around it, you cut out everything. You see, now for my mom and my dad had wisdom. What they did is they went for a full mastectomy. Okay, not full, like one mastectomy. I don't know that it's called half a mastectomy, whatever it is. But anyway, they cut out her breast. Yes.
Completely.
And it was such a difficult conversation. You can imagine back in the day. And she was only 40, She was only 40. They wanted more children. They're like, what's the story here? But my dad was like, listen, Margaret, if you had lost your leg to cancer, would it make you any less of a person? No, it doesn't make you less of my wife. Because it's the breast. And it's going to save your life. And we're going to raise our 3 children.
Cut it.
Let's go. And she tells me to date, and that's why I can share her story openly. She tells me to date that was the most encouraging thing she ever had. My mom had amazing hair, right? So her doctors were prepping her and telling her, when you wake up from surgery, your hair will fall off, your palms will turn black, your nail bed will be black, you might lose your nails. They waited. Day 1, the doctor came with a comb after her surgery. He passed it through. She has that walaloish hair. I don't know how to explain it. Cushitic hair.
Yeah.
She combs. The doctor combs. He combs. Mother combs.
They're waiting for it to fall.
Yeah. Nothing. Nothing is happening. Her palms, nothing. Her face, it's not changing color. They're like, Allah, week 1. Week 2, mother is discharged. She goes home. They're like, Allah, thriving. She looks like an Ethiopian. You know that look. You're like, so the doctors were like, okay, we don't understand what's going on here, but your God, keep talking to your God, because us, we've done our part, but clearly there's something else going here. But I really love the fact that I saw family rally around my mom. There was a lot of negativity and people talked trash. Rellas talked badly. They were giving her time to die. They were saying how long she's going to be here.
She is still alive.
My mother is alive and kicking.
From
And 74 years.
1989.
Yes.
34 years later.
Yes.
God.
Yes. It is God. May God manze.
Haki ni Mungu.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Ali, for her, could be Ali approach mapema in early
Yes.
stages.
Early detection saves lives. It's not a cliche. It is the
It's
truth.
true.
The only thing that you'll ever catch early is a disease. All our other lessons come to us after the fact.
Later.
But if you keep having your regular annual body check, by the way, this is both male and female. If you keep getting your regular body check, you'll find that thing at a time when you can have a conversation with a doctor and you have more options. Whether you're going the chemo way, you're going radiation, whether you're going cyberknife, which is what my dad later had when he had cancer.
Your dad also had cancer.
Yes.
Oh no.
And he's
So
alive
after
and
Madhi
well.
kakam daddy.
Much later, many years later.
So now it was mom's turn to give,
To look after him.
encourage.
Exactly. So that's why you need to pay it forward. Tender mema. You don't know. You may think it will be uko. It will come to your household. Alafu.
I know.
Then I'll remember how you treated me. I'm like,
But then, if there's something I learned, do you know
Yeah.
this body yetu, hii mwili tu ni matope. But then, ule, today you're smiling, tomorrow you cannot.
Yes.
And then we tend to think ni ule tu until it knocks on your door.
And
Then you're
loudly.
like, can I go ask my neighbor what happened? Like, what did they do? But your time ulikuwa unafikiria, yes,
You
nilifikia.
couldn't go to see your neighbor. You couldn't take for them food. I have pals who used to cook and bring me food. I have pals who used to carpool with me, like, and make sure I'm fine. Later on, my mom had a kidney transplant, and she was given a kidney by my second-born bro. Shout out to my bro Gigi.
Oh, wait. So after the breast,
Yeah,
akapona,
yeah.
then
Akapona.
kidney.
Yeah. So when her kidney was impacted and she had to go through dialysis, we needed a kidney. Family came forward.
Oh, this time they came.
Yes. Now where Jesus works on people, let me tell you. I have a cousin who flew in. Like, I'm ready to give your mama kidney.
Oh.
I have a former colleague who was like, he had never met my mother. If I'm tested and I'm a match, I'm giving your mama kidney. I'm like, you've never even met my mom. He's like, Wams, I know you. That's all I need to know.
True.
I'm like, what? So my bro was tested. He was a positive match, and he donated a kidney for my mom. That time, we had to keep my mom in isolation after surgery and everything. For 6 months, she lived with me in my house. I have pals who used to cook, because around that same time, I lost my shosho. So my pals used to cook. They used to come. They used to inject my mom high insulin. Like, you know, people who, you don't share blood. All you share is love.
And they are better than
And
family
humanity.
close.
And they are kind. And they are kind.
So, hey, hata nimeshindwa hata tuko wapi.
Usually
But
the tissues are for the guest. We'll get them for
no,
you.
ni venye, I'm like, your mom has gone through na
Yes.
bado ako,
Yes.
still a fighter.
Yes.
So, let me take you back to your
Yes.
tumor. Ikatolewa.
So what happened is, after now running those tests, they realized this tumor is aggressive, highly aggressive, and it's growing at a very fast rate. So the options were given of the different countries, and we chose to go to India. The costs were astronomical. So we chose to go to India, and you go there now. My dad had the option of becoming an organ donor for me, such that they were going to operate and harvest muscle from his thigh so that they can replace what got lost. So we went with my dad. Remember, my mom had just gotten a stroke, so we went with my mom.
Okay.
So, so we went, the three of us. Later, my auntie and my cousin joined us. But it was a journey of faith, literally, where you're holding your wife and your daughter like this and taking them to hospital in a foreign land that you have never been to.
You went with your dad and your mom?
Yes.
All of you are going for treatment? You and your mom are going for treatment?
Yes.
Mom is going for...
Now mom is going because she's had the stroke and she's now going to be needing dialysis soon. Now dad is bringing me so that he can look after me, and if possible, he can give me part of his muscle.
This was after dad has recovered?
Dad hadn't gotten sick.
Oh no.
This is
he's
still
still
2012.
he's still planting a seed
Yes.
that will come to later on.
Later on, now we look after him knowing this has been our caregiver forever. Yeah.
Hebu acha acha kwanza tupose venye mkurugenzi anasema juu. Now this one is... So mkaenda, which time was this? Ini mwaka gani?
This is, we went, was it the August of 2012? Because I think we stayed about 2 months, so August, September, came back in October of 2012. I was actually discharged on my birthday in 2012, yeah. And I was discharged to now then rest and recover in a nearby hotel, so that then you can be coming for dressing, you can be checking before they allow you to come back home.
And they were able to remove the tumor?
It was an 8.5-hour surgery. So, ulingia job 8, unatoka 5.
Bado uko surgery?
Bado niko surgery.
Mimi najua ile ya theater, ile ya 40 minutes na bado nasikianga ni kama...
Yes. So 8.5-hour surgery, because they had to have a team of sarcoma specialists, plastic surgeons, because it's mutilating. It's a highly... I have a stitch from here to here, 33 staples. 37 actually, like this across, right? To try and get you back to, some resemblance of... But my belly button was impacted, so inakaanga hivi. But, so that was 2012. That was an 8.5-hour surgery. At one point, the way you tag team doctors, so some doctors now left, they came to see my folks. Yes. When my mom saw them walk through the door, she's like, no, you just go back the way you came. Who have you left my daughter with? They're like, no, we don't work alone. She's like, na your message mnakuja kusema msinipe. Direda, as in I don't want to hear. They're like, no, she's doing very well. Then she's like, then go back. As in,
where are you going?
Yes, go back. The doctor is like, no, we are here to reassure you. This is just half time, but she's doing well. My dad said, sawa. Went back, they finished up. So they got the entire muscle out. They took out the tumor. They were looking to make sure it's not touched anything. I mean, when I was going to theater, I was telling my doctor, by the way, please, save my uterus. I want to have more kids. He's telling me, my friend, apa si mambo ya uterus.
It's life.
It's life or death. My friend, we are working to save your life and give you a good outcome.
And you have a baby.
Yes. At that time, she was 3. My friend. Where?
So they had to remove even part of the uterus?
No, they didn't.
Oh, okay.
Thankfully, it had not spread, but it had really gone far within the muscle. So I ended up losing the entire half muscle. Yeah. So I like saying they left me a nice gift. They put in a proline mesh. Kakichungi serious sana. So that's what was put inside to hold everything. Then now they started fungaing. Thankfully, the way it had been operated, they didn't need to graft from my dad. Yeah.
But he was willing.
He was willing. Ready and available. Yes.
He was there.
Yes.
Like, see what God does. Like, God anataka tu kuona uko ready kutoa akupatie. Ni story ya Abraham na mtoto wake.
Thank you.
You're ready.
Yeah.
I will give you something
I will
else.
give you something else.
But us, anakujaribu but umekataa.
Hata hutaki kusikia.
Na anakujaribu.
And he just wants to see, because through you, I'm telling a story.
Imagine.
I know I speak a story of hope. I know my life is not... You've not met me by chance, by the way. Neither has Lorna.
There's a reason why you're here.
Yes. And there's somebody today who's on your channel who this was their last resort. And they may listen to this even later. And that's the day it was dark for them. I keep telling guys, it's not a coincidence that breast cancer and mental health awareness are in the same month. And October 10th is a day before my birthday, and we celebrate the Mental Health Day, Mental Health Day. But for me, it's because I know the impact of disease on your mind.
Oh, God.
It's so easy to lose your mind. It's so easy to no longer function the way you used to. Pain changes you. First, pain alters your mind. But now you can imagine this is a long-term pain. At one time, I was doing about 16 tablets, 8 a day, 8 in the morning, 8 in the evening. There's one particular drug that I was taking in 2014 that cost 1,208 shillings, one drug, and I had to have 2 a day.
One dose, like one tablet.
One.
1,200.
208 shillings.
And you had to take 2. You're 2,500, like kadawa too.
And please note, that's among the others.
16.
Yes. So it is very possible to reach a place where you say, hakuna haja by the way.
Na mtu akikuangalia hivi aseme, now I'm being that person.
Yes.
We uko familia. Kama mlienda India, we mlikuwa mnajiweza.
My friend, 2014 tulifanya fundraiser. 2017 I had a GoFundMe. It's crazy.
Like you do what you have to
Yes, you will do what it takes. You will, every circle of yours knows you. Juu umeenda na maforms mpaka na wanakuulizanga.
Ni ya nini leo?
Unataka aje sasa? Ni nini sasa? Because you've begged, you've borrowed, loans
sold.
left, right, and center. There's nothing you've not sold.
Because you have to do what you have to do.
Yes.
There's no giving
and
up.
And you're not doing this for one person. It's for 2, and eventually it became for 3. I hear guys making noise about NHIF. I'm like, you guys don't understand. That thing comes through.
Hata kama ni bed. Hata kama ni your bed.
Watch a bed. 2017, let me jump you ahead just a bit. I'd done a GoFundMe appeal, right? And I had circulated, you know the one you use when circulate nika pre-wedding. Vile mtu anakutumia, you're like, I don't even remember you. Who are you? Exactly, but they've sent you an invite, right? For me, that particular one, I did blast. Just, mwenye atanitumia hata 2 bob, ni sawa tu. Itaongeza kwa 8 bob, ikue 10 bob. It's fine. Because, you can figure a place you've ombered your family, mpaka guys are like, hey, unajua tunakuanga na vitu zingine za kufanya. But my famu came through for us, both from my dad's side and my mom's side. Oh my God, they came through. And our friends, our neighbors, my colleagues, my employers. But that particular one in 2017, by this time, I had lost quite a lot of weight. I had a different haircut. I was looking very different. My hair was amazingly, it's called copper, in one of those colors. So the way somebody can send you this, then you're like, this chick looks like Anna Chiku used to be our neighbor. Then you call somebody else and ask them. They're like, yeah, it's her. Unfortunately, she got sick. Nini. Yeah. That lady was like, mwambie akuje ofisi yetu. She used to work for NHF. Unfortunately, she passed on. She used to work at NHF. She's like, tell her to come to our office. Then she forwarded it to somebody who had received it from another group. And they were in JKUAT years after me. So they're like, wait, I've received the same thing. Ebu tell her to come. You know that you verify this thing is legit because, again, of course, Kenyans to make PRCC. I go in. They're like, what you need is you need your letters from the doctor. You go to Poisons Board, you go to MOH. There are a number of procedures you undergo for them to ascertain that what you're doing for real can't be done here. Or maybe you've done it before and you have to follow up with a particular doctor. So when they got all that information, I would go to the Ministry of Health. I sit there at a director's office. There's a lady who told me, come at exactly this time. Don't worry. Come at this time. Yo kitu yako itakuwa the first agenda. Do you know I go, it's approved, I'm called, I'm told, they're still in another meeting, but yako imeapproviwa enda. Like things were happening like that. I finally go to NHIF office. This amazing guy. Oh my God. He just listens to my story. He says, you've gotten all the approvals. Okay, what is going to happen is we are wiring the money to India. So me, I'm looking at him, I'm like, and then, you know, you're always waiting for alafu vile utafanya. So my daughter was seated in the reception reading her book because I told her it's a government office. Let's just wait. Tuone vile kutaenda. I don't even think we did 10, 15 minutes. The guy is like, okay, it's approved, it's done. All the approvals are correct. So we've wired the money to India. When you're just shy of 100,000, you will get a notification on your phone to start topping up now from your savings or from your contribution. 550,000 shillings.
Na NHIF?
Yes.
Hiyo ni department gani? Hata mimi hiyo sijui.
It is that contribution. You see that contribution
of yours? Yeah, the one that you pay. Yeah,
yes.
Monthly.
Yes, from that contribution.
Like it can take
I went to India and found the money there. So
Did you guys know?
Imagine. So I had like a blue book. Kama ya post office. Hapa sioni mtu alikuanga na account post office back in the day. Ya poster. So they keep writing. When you do a treatment, they write. When you do a treatment, when it's at 100,000, they tell you, okay, now you need to start topping up. My family couldn't believe. I told them there's a God in heaven. And he works through people.
Wait, so 2017 you went back to India?
Yes. 2012, 2014, 2017,
okay.
2022, last year.
So after utolewe, kwani it came back
when
again?
When I had the removal of the it's called like excising. So let me take you back. Let me not confuse people. 2012, it was excised and I had to wait for 8 months to walk upright. Because I lost my core muscle. I lost what holds you upright. I lost what keeps you properly going.
So for 8 months you are...
I was in bed on crutches. I tried walking sometimes. Unasikia uchungu ingine unarudi tu home. My bosses kept me on full pay.
What?
Full pay.
For 8 months?
They set up an office in the house. So me, I started working from home before COVID. BC, as we call it, before COVID. They set me up in the office.
Before COVID.
Yes, I had an office. I had a proper phone in the office. I had internet connectivity. And they paid for me a cost to be taken. They're like, your mind is working. It's your body that's not yet. Yeah. So let your body catch up. Don't worry.
It's like maternity leave.
Thank you. Yes. Because you're functioning.
You're okay.
But, and then now once off with maternity, there's a person who needs you. You know?
This one you're okay.
This one now, when you look at me, you can't tell. But I can't sit upright. I can't walk for long. I couldn't drive. I couldn't do all those things. So mobility was impaired. My ability to do the things I could. I have a 4 kg band. I can't carry anything above 4 kgs. So if somebody sees you and you're asking them for help, but they look at you, why do you need help? For what? But you know I can't do these things for myself. So it puts you in a very bad place. It puts you in a place... Ushaindikuomba help wewe. Yani, you don't know what that feels like when you've been self-reliant, nini. Nowadays, I don't even say I'm an independent woman. I am interdependent on God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Niliachana na independence. Wacha ikae nao. Wacha mau wapiganie. Mimi niliachana na independent. I am interdependent on God. He says, no, I'm not here.
True.
Yeah.
The next second.
Yes. So today that he allowed me to be on today's wake-up list, yes, we had talked with Lorna that I'll come meet you, but what assured me that I'll be away live today, or that I'll even make it to this location?
True.
It's keeping on knowing I have something I'm fighting for, and for me it was my daughter. And I knew because I remembered Isaiah says, I will be the repairer of the broken. Because that's my assignment. So for me, it's to tell guys, it's possible to overcome. It is. My life took a beating. My career took a beating. At that point, my marriage had ended. So everything was just, falling by the wayside. I can't carry my child. She's 3, turning 4. She turned 4 just after I came home. We did a bash for her, but I was highly medicated. You know that one of... Yes. Just for her to know we are celebrating her. But I look at her today, she'll be 15 next month. I look at her today, she's taller than me. She's my best friend. Encourages me day in, day out. I look at her, I'm like, I have something I'm living for. Because I remember my mom saying, God, just let me pona enough to raise, at least my 2 boys are bigger, but I want to raise all of them. Naka ni kadogo, she's 9. I'm a only girl and I have 2 brothers. So I remember my mom making that prayer for me. So why shouldn't I make the same prayer and hold on to the same faith?
And right now there's someone who is making that prayer to God.
Yes. So don't give up. Don't. If I am here, that's the one thing I keep saying, guys. It's not by fluke, it's not by chance. There is a reason, there is a purpose, and mine, day in, day out, is to glorify my Father and to represent the kingdom. In whatever sphere, whether I'm recruiting, whether I'm here speaking, whether I'm doing interviews, it doesn't matter, whether I'm raising my child, whether I'm looking after my dad because he's unwell, whether I'm whether I'm with my bros, whether I'm looking after my nieces and my nephews, whether I'm working with my sis-in-law, nothing, it doesn't matter. Mine, at the end of the day, you will know there is a God.
And do you know?
Yeah.
By this, see kawaida uko hapa. It's not by the there's a reason you're here. Yesterday in church, our reading was Romans chapter 12, verse 1
Right.
to something. And then 2 Timothy skumbuki gani. But you know the word was, in whatever you do. Like, in whatever way, in every, hata kama ni kufagia.
Yes.
Let them know that serve God in everything.
Yes.
Unaona kwa hiyo kufagia yako unafagianga hapo kwa parking.
With a spirit of excellence. Yes.
Let it feel like, juu Mungu akwambia, there are some of you who work in the office, maybe venye umesema recruiting. But hata kurecruit yako, let it feel that in hiyo kazi unafanya,
yes,
God is being served.
I always say I change lives one JD at a time, one CV at a time, one interview at a time. It's very few candidates of mine that I have placed who don't come back to tell me something phenomenal happened. Very few. Very few. I started recruiting in 2007. I think I've only needed to replace 1 or 2 people. Yeah.
All the rest,
stellar candidates, and it's God allowing me to connect, because I'm a connector of people. God allowing me to, okay, Celes hapa akona talent, I can hook her up with XYZ, and it will grow. I wish it was a name drop session. You would be like, you recruit, you, yes. But for me, it's that person will be in a place where they will lead with kindness.
True.
I keep saying, let your kindness start from the boardroom. It will trickle down to people. Don't be surprised when you walk into a reception of an office and everyone looks like they've been baptized in lemonade. They are sad. They had cactus juice for breakfast. They're just sad-looking people. It started
up,
there.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
People are afraid to tell the king he's naked.
True.
The fish has rotten from the top. No one wants to say. But since I'm making a kadil here, you're making a kadil here, no one cares. So your amazing strategy has been cooled for breakfast by the culture that you have perpetuated. But if you lead with kindness, you'll think fast and pause. Should I even ask that question to that guest? It will be good for you, Celes, because your ratings will go up, everyone will watch, it will trend. But what have you done to that person? At the end of the day.
Was it necessary?
Yes.
For what?
Years later, your kids will watch and they'll be like, did mommy really need to do that? For me, my daughter will watch. It's how I talk about her dad. Do I honor him? Because he's her father. Whether we are divorced or not is a separate issue.
True.
But that's her father. So you need to think through those things.
And you're very wise.
Hey,
A wise woman.
imekuja later. Hey,
A
imekuja
wise
later.
woman.
Imekuja
Because your
later.
daughter will watch.
Yes. The
Most of
internet
us
never
tend to think, si tulikosana. Your daughter will.
Bado ni mtoto wa mtu, by the way.
Bado ni baba yake.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's a child of God. So now I have, okay, fine, I'm divorced, but has that graduated me to become God? Now I can pass judgment over you, my friend. But this is with hindsight. Let me tell you, it's with hindsight. It's taken a lot of, and part of my illness, I strongly believe, was to get me to the woman that I am becoming. I'm not yet even her. But it's to be that woman who can sit and honestly and just speak from my heart and say, yes, there's a time I was highly judgmental, highly. Like, we are starting this interview, I'm like, okay, so, all right. This is what she chose to wear. Okay, ni sawa tu, tuendele. You know, forget the price tag. I'm not even what I'm like, this is the outfit she, okay, hey, okay,
Aliingia tu
sawa.
akatoka na hiyo.
Like how, hakuna mtu alikuona ukitoka kuuliza unaenda. At least even a mirror. I know, I was that chick. So even now when I'm training, I normally tell guys, the first 5 minutes are for judging. Because it's happening in your head. So judge. Yes, the shoe is from Bata. Are you okay? Yes. Are you fine? Near Masai Market. Are you fine? Are we okay now? Are you done judging? Because it's very human.
It's very human.
So now are you okay? Now are we on the same level? Now can you hear me for
Without
why I'm
judging,
here?
yeah.
Exactly.
Now without looking the outward.
Exactly. Can you be able to take in what I'm telling you and not be triggered? Because there are people right now who are still going through their cancer. There are people who are still, or it's terminal and there's nothing more that can be done. Maybe the doctor can't do anything for you physically, but you can still do something for your mind. Your attitude is still in your hands. How you talk to your family members is still in your hands. I normally say for people who have terminal illness, there's a blessing in disguise. Because if you know you're going,
you have time to make things right.
There you go. One wise woman to another. You have time to mend it.
That's my prayer. If
Yes.
I'm going to go, of
Yes.
course, we are going to go.
Going, we are going.
Going, we are going.
Yes.
Just
Kama kuna biashara iko na kazi.
Hiyo sure bet.
Yo.
Sisi wote tunaenda.
Ekelea. It's a must.
But namianga God, wacha nikuwe na hiyo. Those last days, not too many.
Yes, because you don't want to prolong pain.
Of course. But you've been told now, you just go home.
Yes.
In 2 weeks, you're going.
Yeah.
Imagine hiyo ni kusafisha. Hiyo ni kumake, amend everything. Amend.
In Kikuyu, we have a saying, when you go to them, you know, you've gone to your doctor, to the Muraguri, you've gone to the traditionalist, and they're checking and they're like, ini mbaya, wanasemanga, kojarowa, modone wito na gai. The rowa is the hide of the mbuzi, sindio? So si ulikuwa umekuja na sacrifice yako, wanaona hii story haiwaka, kojaro wai, modone wito na ngai. It's not ours. So, ata kilo umekuja nayo, wenda tu, it's just you and your God. You cry to your Kirinyaga mountain and please, hii story imeishi hapo. But now, even in that state, you have time to tell your family member, I am sorry.
True.
Remind them that you love them. Remind them that you can reconcile. We'll meet on the other side of Jordan. But for now, physically, we are going to leave each other. And it will be painful beyond repair. Living in something called anticipatory grief is the most painful thing I know. I know. That you're seeing what's about to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. So it's taking your mental health into consideration. But it's enjoying those moments. I have a friend who recently sent me a post on IG, and it was questions to ask your mom before it's too late. So I turned it around and I said, these are questions to ask my dad before it's too late, because he's terminally ill. And I had amazing moments with him, conversations. I didn't even know some stories. You know, I'm like, damn, I only knew X until Z.
Yeah.
But kumbe iko na A1, imeanza tena.
Part B.
You know, it has a part B. And you bond differently. So you become intentional with the people you're with.
Intentional.
Yes.
That's one of my keywords in 2023.
Yes. Yeah, because
intentional.
You must.
Yeah.
This is the year 2023. We're not taking hostages.
Yes.
You speak it as it is and you be intentional. True. Because no one has assured you of even your next shoot.
True.
No one.
That's the sad thing.
Yes.
Like, and that's the reality.
But we are busy chasing money. We are busy chasing. Money is good. I like it.
Good.
Me, I enjoy it. But my friend, money will not comfort your children. It may cushion your children, but it will never replace you. There's a gentleman who worked for a multinational. He died outside the country, so they had to repatriate his body. And they put out the obituary. They were very sad about his demise. But when you flip the page, was his job.
His job was what?
JD. His job had been advertised because there was a vacancy.
On the obituary,
Same,
like...
no. The
on the same
obituary is on
paper?
this side. Ukiflipi side ingine kulikuwa na vacancy.
And such is life.
Yes. And I keep telling my candidates, if you fall here to Koharithuku Road, so let's say they'll take you to Montezuma, wherever, down the road.
Chiromo,
Or Chiromo, yes, thank you. They'll take, in fact, Chiromo is even nearer.
Yeah.
They'll take you diagonally here to Chiromo.
And then tomorrow, we'll have someone.
Which tomorrow? I am a recruiter. I will be called. We are sorry to let you know that X is not here. However, because life goes on. And the only people who will not read from a written obituary, they will not read from a letter done by the PO or by someone else, is your family. Them, they are reading from a hole in their heart that can never be replaced. So now that you have that time and God has allowed a disease to visit you, He can allow your mind to change. He can allow you to behold His goodness even in your dying days. There's a gentleman called Stephen who was being stoned for being a Christian. And as he was being stoned, he looked up and he said, I behold the Lord. Because he could see Jesus. Because Jesus stood up in his honor. And he died singing praises of the one he was about to meet. As people were stoning him. Those stones have come, my dear. They've come in my life. And you get one disease, you get another one. You ask me when you went back. Yes, I got complications, one after the other. But the one thing I held on to, I'm entering a rigged fight. This fight was won by Jesus. Hapa tuko tu shadow boxing, by the way.
Alishapigana ile kubwa.
Yes, kabisa. So ours is to embrace science. And I love science, by the way. I'm pro-medicine, I'm pro-science and pro
Sio wenye
research.
tunaambiwa tumeze dawa.
Me, I'm not in that. You know why? Because when Jesus met with this blind guy, he spat on the ground. So saliva, which has DNA and everything else, mixed with matope, is not a chemical reaction. That's a chemical reaction. So you're telling me a doctor who has mixed a herb and another plant and given me in the form of a tablet, I shouldn't take? No. My friend.
Also, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Now you're
also,
not
what
working.
are we? Yeah, what are we doing?
You're praying and you're not working towards the healing.
Exactly.
So now that you've undergone all these worms, there's a viewer who is watching, who is, by the way, thank you for coming, because even me, you've given me so much, like, hope. Unaona hiyo venye tu unaongea, mse anatama. We would want to hear these words daily.
Yes.
We would want to hear these words of encouragement daily.
And you can tell them to yourself.
Sometimes you get tired of telling yourself.
Hard.
You'll feel like I'm lying to myself. But when it comes to someone we've never met,
yes,
but I feel like you're speaking to me in one way.
And I'm grateful.
Quite intentional. Because as days go by, because we also have parents who get sick.
Yes.
And you see...
And sometimes it's just age.
And you see how much this person means to you.
Yeah.
And that's when you realize, by the way, these are the people who mean.
Yes.
Who mean, I can pinpoint. Well, I spend time with so many people.
That's true.
But kuna mahali inafikanga.
Ni tu hiyo
unashika hivi. So that way you learn how personal, you learn how to be intentional.
You must be. And with your time. Guard your space.
And with your time.
Guard your space, guard your time.
Not every time we are with... Kuna wale watu wana kunid zaidi ya watu wengine.
But the first person, I normally tell guys, if I was to ask in this room, name for me the 5 most important people in your life.
I'll start with my husband, my kids, my kids, my nanny, my parents, my brothers. Like, exactly.
So where were you in that list?
Oh, see, I'm there.
Where?
Oh, I start with myself.
Thank you. That universe you've just named can exist without you.
Oh, yeah.
You can't exist without you.
And I need to be okay. That me is here.
Yes. You is here. You is mind, body, and spirit. If the 3 are not aligned,
then I'm not.
It doesn't matter how good a relationship you have with your hubby, with your kids, with your nanny, with your folks, with your brothers. See, I saw yours going like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I was about to go down.
It doesn't matter. If you don't have a good relationship with yourself, So me, I normally say, one's is number one and one's is life. Me, I don't know about you guys.
They say sometimes selfishness is not...
It's self-full. It's not selfish. I am full of myself.
Yeah.
But it's been taken as a negative thing, eh? So she's so full of herself. I am full of... My friend, I am full of myself.
There's this one that I saw, Juicy. Selfishness is not always selfish. Like, you're not being selfish. Sometimes you have to be you.
You have to be
Take
you.
your view, you.
Not sometimes, forever and a day.
Oh, yes.
Your brain will not function if it's chemically imbalanced. Your body will not function if you're putting in the wrong thing. Your spirit will not, praise God, will not work, will not take you to the places you need to be if you're not nourishing it. But we are so hell-bent on nourishing everyone else.
The society has
And that's what happens when you're a cancer patient. Because now you're so tired of everyone asking you, how are you? You want to focus on people.
them.
But yes, niko sawa. Especially for women. Because we confuse motion for progress. We don't embrace rest. Because an active woman is seen as a new wife material. My friend, I schedule my sleep. I'm like...
Do not disturb.
TND is a thing. I schedule my sleep. If I feel anxiety rising, because I later on I later on got a mental illness, right? So, because they found a cyst in my brain. So, and it was inducing seizures, right? So, memory lapse, forgetfulness, all that comes with it, right? But in between that time, I had to keep telling myself, I can't praise God if I'm not okay. And it is okay to not be okay. So embrace the fact that I'm not fine right now. So thank you. I need medication. And I take it. I see a psychiatrist. I see a psychologist. I see a therapist. Like, my friend, let your money work for you. Let NHIF work for you. This is not an ad. But seriously,
they came through for you.
Yes, they came through for me. I speak about it. But if you have a person you can reach out to, you hear there is a free clinic somewhere, go. You hear something is being done, there are people coming, go. There are doctors who are visiting, there's a medical camp, go. Don't ever let the lack of finances be the thing that's standing between you and finding out what's ailing you. Don't. But don't be the person standing in your own way. Yeah. Don't be the person standing in your own way.
I have a good friend, very ill currently, very ill, kidney. She's in need of a kidney, but let me tell you, her personality.
Ewan.
Yes. Like ukimwangalia, she's sick because she's sick. Dialysis every day. Dialysis is expensive every day. Like every week, and on Thursdays, KU referral. Yes. She's a very good friend. Hata sijui kama ataona hii. Her personality. Iko uko. But then her mind is so okay.
It's the one thing you're in charge of.
Juicy, when she was my first, I got a car. She was my first... my first passenger.
Yes.
She was my first passenger because I met her on the way nikienda home.
Yes.
Na kawaida, si kawaida, like hatembeangi, so nikamsaidia, nikampeleka home. Do you know what she told me? This is my dream car, Celes.
Oh, look at that.
Soon I'm going to... like, personality yake ilinifurahisha mpaka haufeel woye. Because she only needs a kidney.
Soon I'm going to...
this is the car I'm going to buy.
She has hope. She has something she's aspiring for.
Exactly. Like,
and I pray right now, Father, that she would attain that and much more.
Amen.
Yes.
She will. She will. Because hope yake iko uko. Because, yani, mimi ndo na feel.
I'm so encouraged by
mimi
that.
Ndio nilikuwa na feel, oh my. But her, akikuongelesha.
She didn't know that way.
Washe ni wewe.
Yeah.
She's like, unajua lazima ninange mapema juu yake yu kumejani. You're the one who is like...
You're like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and that's because she's probably tapped into something greater than herself, and she's activated her mind. And she said, my mind has to work. It has to work, so we're going to treat this. Please tell her, my mom was on dialysis, and she's fine now. She got a kidney in 2014.
And she's okay now.
Pass all our love to her. It's doable. My brother who donated, he's fit as a fiddle. I have friends now, community of people I know who've donated to... 2 pals of mine who've donated to their dads. And they are fine. So she will find the match. She will find the match. If I was here for nothing else, is to tell her that she will find the match and it will work. The immunosuppressants will work. Her body will not reject that kidney.
Thank you.
I am speaking this and standing on faith. I don't know her, but that's what I'm praying for.
I also
her.
didn't know I'm going to talk
Yes.
about her here, but
Yeah.
yeah.
There are people who prayed for my mom and I. There are people who pray for my dad. I don't know them. When we looked at our M-Pesa statements after we did that GoFundMe, we're like, do you know, Yani, have you ever read lists of names? You don't know people and they're sending money. Because some friends now, it went viral, they posted it. Guys were sending cash. We're like, I don't know any of these names. So for me, that's why I keep saying friends and perfect strangers have stood in the gap for me. I may be a perfect stranger to your friend, but I will stand in the gap by the words that I'm declaring. I couldn't have gotten well for nothing. So I'm speaking life into her. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And thank you for encouraging those many, the many out there who giving up. Many are giving up. And I think giving up nifanya mtu anaenda haraka as what we think. Because you're mentally ushaenda.
You've already
like
given
mentally
up.
ushamaliza.
Yeah, you've already seen the end. But sometimes also it's the people around you. You need to mute some voices. You need to open the door of your balcony and usher people out. And tell them it was nice, thank you. But this other place I'm going, I can't go with you. Not with the attitude you have. You move how you move, I move how I move. Cheers. You need to usher. But there's another group of people
That you need to keep.
Thank you, Holy Spirit, for that. There's another group of people. It's the caregivers. People don't think about the caregivers. Those ones are equally as sick as the person they're looking after because they are watching it day
Daily.
and night.
True.
So that's another group. I hope they are watching you, who I pray find comfort in knowing back in 89, my dad looked after my mom. Now, my mom is looking after my dad. He was my caregiver. I'm his caregiver, together with my siblings. I'm not doing this on my own. We have an amazing house help. We have a patient attendant who helps my dad. We have family who keep coming. Aunties who come to make for him soup. You know, his brothers come around. His in-laws. That support, it gives my mom time to rest her mind. Because it's such a thin line. But people don't look at it from that point of view. You only want to see the word cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a group. I didn't even know I was going to talk about them, but yeah, it's come to mind. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Worms.
Yeah.
Thank you for the encouragement. Inaweza kaa kidogo sana, but those words are quite, zitasaidia sana. Personally, mi zimeshanisaidia. For real.
I'm grateful.
Yeah. Thank you so
grateful.
much.
And
Thank you for coming.
I honor the Lord for the opportunity, for the team that's behind this, for you stepping out. It's not easy to say, I'm going to be doing this however many times you do it. I just came to learn about you recently in terms of now your channel, not you, the person. And I'm like, wow, okay. Hey, first there's an interview there, you did that. I was like, wow, Jesus. There are people, you think you've gone through. The others who are going through other things. So I'm so
Na hiyo ndo
grateful.
nasema, like my only prayer is if only we could be kind to people. You see, you've told me you can't carry a certain kg. You've told me you've
4 kg.
looking at you like this, siwezi sema uko na shida. So kwa barabara nikikusukuma, uanguke. Mimi nasema, mama najifanya mama.
Yes.
But you're going.
I've gone through it even with friends. So you want us to help you? You're like,
I know, but you look okay.
Exactly.
So that's by then my only
I will
request.
never look like my problems. That I know.
Oh yes.
I will never look like my
Oh
problems.
yes. Oh yes.
And I heal inside out. Yeah. That one I have agreed with God. I will heal inside out. And they will see your glory on my outside. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Please just be kind.
Yeah.
And don't lose hope
At all.
at any given point. Or see why.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Worms.
Thank you very much.